Welcome to Win Online, your channel for educational videos. After your great appreciation and praise for the video tutorial that we are uploading for our different um, subject areas for different series. So, this is the first video tutorial for our English series called the Collins English Skills. And today I am uploading the video of grade 1, chapter 1. So let's discuss the salient features of this series. This series is a structured English language course, and it has got all the elements, all the skills that are required for the learning of English language. So, as you can see on this slide, this series has spellings in it, vocabulary, comprehension, grammar, creative writing, punctuation, letter writing, also study skills. This series comes with a user friendly teacher's guide. Why I say user friendly? Because in this teacher's guide, day to day planning is provided, and explanation of every concept and every topic is provided, and also the answer keys are provided. And now you have the page by page video tutorials also of this series. The teacher's guide and this video tutorial has the answer keys of the exercises in it also. So let's get started. When you will open the teacher's guide, you will see that there are SLOs for every unit written on top. Here I am telling you about the activities that the students will do or should do in this unit. Number one, the students will tell about their first day of school. So this is an activity of spoken English. They will read, write, and understand school related given vocabulary. They will list different activities that they do at school. Again, it's creative writing. They will learn about the components of a sentence, which is grammar. They will differentiate between a sentence and a phrase. Again, practicing grammar. They will practice phonics by identifying the initial sounds of the given words. So, we hope and we expect that the students must have done phonics in preschool. So, this is the reinforcement of their knowledge of phonics. They will also use capital letters appropriately, so language skills, and they will read the text and comprehend it. Reading comprehension, a very major component of any language course. And they will also arrange events in the sequence of their occurrence in the story. This is an activity related to reading comprehension. So, these activities will enable the students and you to achieve the SLOs, the student learning outcomes. When the students will perform these activities, only then they will be able to achieve those learning outcomes. So, Unit 1 is first day of school, and you can see on the very first page there is look and think. The questions are given about the topic. This is an oral activity. You have to set the scene for the unit. You have to set the scene for the theme. So you will ask these questions from the students, and you will encourage them and demand an answer in English. Now, I understand that as the children are promoted from KG recently, and they may not be that fluent in spoken English, so it's all right if they are not able to give the answer in a complete English. In a complete English sentence in for unit 1, 2, or even unit 3. But after unit 3, you should insist on an English answer and encourage the students. Doesn't matter how incomplete their answer is, doesn't matter how broken their English is. This is the first step, and this will encourage them to be fluent in spoken English. So, how will you do this look and think activity? Orally discuss the questions given on page 1 of look and think section with the students. Encourage the students to answer in English by sharing your own experiences. So say, I went to school a long time ago. I walked to school because it was close by. Things like that. Share your experience. Read out the extended vocabulary, which is given on page number 2. This is unit related vocabulary. Ask the students to read it with you. Explain what the words mean. Do not translate them in Urdu. Explain. A clock is something that tells us time. A pencil is something we write with. By the end of this day, the student should be able to read and comprehend the extended vocabulary. So, you're going to do two things on this day. You're going to do the oral question answers with the students, set the scene, drive the students' attention towards the theme, and then you will do the extended vocabulary with them. You will read the words, they will read the words, they can also look at the pictures, and you can give them an explanation of the words, not translation. On day two, revise everything that was covered the previous day. Please make it a habit that you go over the previous content just for 2 or 3 minutes. Before beginning part B of the extended vocabulary, brainstorm what objects can be seen in the classroom. Now you are doing the same thing, you are going over the extended vocabulary, but you will ask the students what can they see around them in their classroom. Ask the students to mention at least two objects, so everybody should mention at least two objects, and you keep on writing these objects on the board. This is how brainstorming is done. Different ideas, different words, different things, different sentences are gathered, and they are written on one page or a chart or the board. You have to remember that this is an exercise for nouns. You're not telling the students what a noun is at this stage, but you are sticking to nouns. Now ask the students to complete part B of the extended vocabulary on page number 3. There is a clock in my class. There are tables and chairs in my class. Make the connection with the extended vocabulary on day covered on day 1. So there is a clock in my class is written, and then after there are three lines given, so students can write the names of as many things as they want, or as many things as they can see in the classroom with correct spelling, and they should do it on the book. Day 3. Now today is the exercise for verbs. And what are you going to do? You're going to brainstorm with the students. What do they do at school? So everybody should tell you one thing, like we read, we write, we draw, we sing, we listen to stories, we play, we talk, we color, anything that they say. Encourage them to answer in English. Write down the things they mention on the board. Read out what the various students do at school from page 3. Now on page number 3, there is little bit of reading, and there are students from different parts of the world. You can see their names are different, and they're talking about different activities that they do at school. So read this, ask the students to read after you, and after this you will orally ask the questions from the students about this content. Who plays at school? So they will look at the picture and they can tell you that Amy plays at school. What does Alina do at school? Ask simple questions like this. Then complete part C of the extended vocabulary on page number 3. Encourage the use of verbs such as play, run, read, write. These verbs you have already written on the board, so it will be easier for the students to use those words. So we have just given you an example. For example, my name is Ali, I'm a boy, and I draw at school. So every student will write their own answer. Everybody will not write the same answer. On day 4, you can see that there are some new words introduced. These words are also related to school, most of them, but these are mainly related to the reading comprehension passage that will follow. So begin day 4 by reading out the vocabulary of new words. Drill these words at least 2 or 3 times. Drill like you say the word, the students say the word, then you repeat again, then repeat again. The pictures are given with the words, and the words are fairly simple. Remember, the goal is the recognition of these words. The student should be able to recognize these words when they see them. Do a model reading from page number 5. Page number 5 is the reading comprehension passage. Very simple, straightforward, school related. It's according to the theme. And ask the students to underline the new words that they have learnt now. When you are reading, they should be able to listen to the word and underline that word in the text. This is again like recognition. If they recognize it by sound, and if they recognize it by seeing it, then they should be able to underline. Do another model reading. Remember, the goal is to familiarize the students with the reading. Do not expect fluency at this stage. Please do not push the students to be reading fluently at this stage. They need to get themselves familiar with the content. This is the reading comprehension passage, a very interesting, simple passage about a teacher. This is a teacher's first day at school. Now, on day number 5, what will you do? There are three things mentioned, and there are icons with everything. So, there is a revision icon in revision. What was covered on day 4, you are going to revise. You're going to revise the new words, and you are going to do another model reading for the students. Explanation. After the model reading, explain what happened in the passage. Use the help of the diagram given in the teacher's guide. If you will open the teacher's guide, you will see that there is a concept layer map, a diagram given. That diagram is very interesting. It will help the students to understand the passage easily. I have provided you with the picture of the diagram in the pages that are coming. Then read aloud. After the explanation, have a read aloud session. Read aloud session is you read and the students read after you in a loud voice. And for homework, ask the students to practice the new words at home. Day 6, again you will provide a read aloud session. You will read, the students will read after you. Please, when you are reading, read a complete sentence. Do not break the sentences in the middle unless there is a comma there, because then the reading becomes very unnatural and the students also follow and adopt the same style, and that doesn't look nice. So a whole sentence, so that the students get accustomed with different words of English, with the sounds of English, and with the sentences of English. See here, I have provided you with the picture of the diagram before beginning the activities on page 6. Page 6, there are reading comprehension activities. Draw the above diagram once again on the board. This diagram will help the student to do the activities. And then, using this diagram, complete the activities on page 6. For part B of the activities on page 6, ask the students to read each of the sentence first. Then try and find those sentences on page 5. This activity is about putting the sentences into their order of occurrence. So encourage the students to read the sentence and then find that sentence in the text, and they will see what happened first. So they will automatically find the sequence. Here is the answer key. The questions are very simple, but still we have provided you with the answer key. Ask the students to complete page 7 at home. There are some other exercises given on page 7 which are fairly simple, and the students can easily do it at home. With the homework, if some students are not able to do the homework on their own, then please do not humiliate them. Provide them assistance the next day, or after a while you will be able to understand who does the homework at home, who can easily do it at home. So provide them with the assistance. The purpose is to teach. The purpose is not to like punish the students for not doing something. If they don't know how to do something, how can they do it? So our job is to teach them. Day 7, you have to bring a chart with you to school on this day. Prepare it in advance. It should have all the uppercase and the lowercase English alphabet written on it. Uppercase, capital letters, lowercase, small letters. So all the letters should be written on it. Display the chart in the class and familiarize the students with both forms. This is a very simple, straightforward, easy activity. The students already know their ABC. We hope that they know their ABC. Now, what is the purpose? The purpose is to teach the students where are the capital letters used, because for writing mostly small letters are used, but capital letters have got their own place and their own purpose. So you have to explain where do we use the capital letters. Complete part A and B. Part A and B, very simple and straightforward, of the grammar exercise on page 8 in the textbook. For part C, ask the students to write the first word of the sentence in the textbook and then write the complete sentence in their notebooks. So, for example, the first sentence is, it's a very sunny day. So it's they should write in their book, and then it's a very sunny day in their notebook. What is the purpose? The purpose is that it's is they should start the word it's, the I should be capital. So the exercise of capital letters should be done on the book, while the whole sentence writing should be done in the copy. This way, you are also using your English copies, because sometimes there is this complaint from the parents that the teachers are not using the copies. So now we come to day 8, which is the language exercise. And in this exercise, you are teaching the students what a sentence is. So the definition of the sentence is also given, and the students need to understand that why a sentence is called a sentence, because it conveys meaning and it is complete, right? Then the exercise is fairly easy. Sentences are also given and phrases are also given. So once the students are able to understand what a sentence is, they will be able to do the exercise. But how are you going to do the this language activity? Write down the following sentences on the board. I'm a boy, I'm a girl, this is a table, these are chairs. Explain what a sentence is from language section. The explanation is given. Remember, connect this to the previous lesson on capitalization. After explaining the concept, complete exercise A on page 9. This should be done on the book, and if you feel that the students have time, or there will be some students who will finish their work quickly and earlier than the rest of the class, then they can write this down in their copies also. It depends on you, how and your class dynamics, how well you use your time, and how well you occupy your students in doing meaningful activities. Day 9, the activity is write down simple sentences on a large piece of paper. For example, I have a book, she has a pet cat. Like, these are just two examples. You can write at least 5 sentences, then cut them into two parts. Like, one part of the sentence, for example, I have and a book, it should be cut from the middle. Now hide the remaining part, or you can display it on the table and you hold the first part, I have, and then invite the students to find the second part of the sentence. You have to design this carefully, so that many sentences are not similar. Like, I have, and if you have a book and you also have a cup, then both can become part of that sentence. So you have to be a little smart at this position. You are smart, but you have to construct the sentences carefully. Stick one half of the sentence on the board and then ask the students to help you find the other half. Once that is done, read the complete sentence to the class. Again, this is the same exercise of completing the sentences, practicing sentences. Complete parts B, C, and D of the language section on page 10 in the textbook. These can be easily done on the textbook. For homework, ask the students to prepare the new words on page 4 for dictation. You have already drilled the words, they know the meaning, they understand the words, they know how to read them. Tomorrow is the day for dictation, because you will be using these words for dictation. Day 10, which is the last day according to my planning, but it depends on the strength of your class. It depends on the English of your students. You can complete it in 10 days. You can take 12 days. You can take 15 days, not more than 15 days. Otherwise, it will become very, very boring for the students. So there should be a nice pace of the lesson. Do not drag the lesson too long, or do not finish it too quickly. It should be a nice, satisfactory pace of the lesson. Day 10, give a dictation of the new words. Now make sure to check their answers in the class and correct the mistakes, if any. Please, when you give the dictation, do not just collect the copies and mark them at your time and then return it to the students without providing the feedback. Mark the copies in front of the students, and if there are mistakes, ask the students to correct their mistakes. Also remember, this is not a graded activity. Do not give any marks. Do not give any marks to the students. No, we are encouraging the students to know new words, to know their spellings, to know their pronunciation, to know how to read these words. We are not, it's not a competition. Now, with this, I have also suggested 3 extension activities. This again depends on your group, your class, and the time that you have in your hands, on your hands, for doing this unit. One extension is use the extended vocabulary to make sentences. You can give this as a homework. The words that you have given in extended vocabulary, you can choose any four words and ask the students to make sentences of these words. You can also role play the reading passage. The reading passage is very interesting. There is a little dialogue in it, so you can role play it in the class to reinforce the spoken English of the students. You can also use the sentences from reading passage and remove the capital letters for students to correct them. So again, utilizing the reading comprehension passage, choose any 5 sentences, remove capital letters from them, and then give them as classwork to the students to correct these sentences by putting the capital letters in their proper places. I told you in the beginning that this series is full of activities and skills which are essential for language learning and which are essential for being lifelong learners. So, I have just gathered a few skills and activities. For example, on page 1, there is thinking and speaking. We are doing the thinking and speaking activity, which will encourage the spoken English. On page 2, it's the vocabulary, again increasing the knowledge of English. On page 3, it's creative writing because students are writing responses on their own. On page 5, it is reading comprehension, so they learn how to read English and they learn how to understand it. On page 7, their knowledge of phonics is tested again. On page 8, there is grammar, which is the use of capital letters. On page 9, it is language skills, which is the knowledge of what a sentence is and how to differentiate between a sentence and a phrase. Also, the map, the diagram, the concept layer map that you will use for explaining the comprehension passage is a study skill, because later on in their life they can use this. And this concept of concept layer map is used in even in higher and advanced classes, where students draw up a map, fill in the information, and then understand the whole concept. So that's all about this unit, grade 1, unit 1, Collins English Skills, our structured English course. I hope that you have already adopted this course and you're using it. If you're not using it, I think this video will motivate you to adopt this book in your school. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment. The PDF of this presentation is also available. If you want it, I can share it with you. Thank you so much.